are listening to KELP El Paso. Feed your mind, feed your soul at 1590 AM, 95.9 FM. Streaming worldwide at KELPradio.com.
915 Talk is a production of Desert Voice Media. You can visit desertvoice.media to learn more.
915 TALK.
The world is looking at El Paso.
What will we say to the world? From the KELP studio in El Paso, this is 915 Talk.
And now your host.
Good afternoon, beautiful citizens of the borderland. This is 915 Talk, and I'm your host, Andy Frecka. Today we are broadcasting from the heart of the world's largest borderplex. We're here at the KELP radio station in El Paso, and today we have Kenny on the board. Kenny on the board, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing wonderful, Andy. How are you today?
I was afraid you're going to ask me that because, once again, I must confess that my vocabulary is painfully poverty-stricken. I am unable to describe the wonder and joy of this educational journey that we have embarked upon each and every weekday afternoon as we learn to love our city and love our neighbors and give God all the glory. But today, Kenny on the board, we have two very special guests.
We do have two very special guests sitting there in front of you.
Yeah, do you know why they're special?
Well, they're both the unique expression of an endlessly creative God.
Oh,
just like you and I are.
That's true. They are the unique expressions of an endlessly creative God. But you know what, Kenny on the board? I think about jobs I would find it difficult to do.
Okay.
Like astronaut.
Brain surgeon.
I don't know. The job you're doing, I wouldn't want to do, running the soundboard.
It can be stressful.
Yeah.
Things don't go right. Yes.
And it's interesting. I have 4 kids. I love my kids. I do. Almost all the time. And but when it comes to other people's kids, I don't know. I just am happy that other people work with other people's kids. And I look at like school teachers and I'm like, these are the true heroes of modern society. But today we don't just have some folks who work with the kiddos. It's called Every Little Blessing School. Have you heard of that, Kenny, on the board?
No, I haven't, but the name is very intriguing.
Yeah, Every Little Blessing Preschool.
Okay, so they get only the good kids, it sounds like.
Yeah, only the good kids. And it's kids with special needs.
Nice.
And so that's super cool. And it's kids who are just, what's the word? Developing?
Typically.
Yeah, typically. There we go. Thank you for helping me. Our guests are so special. They're already helping me. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the Every Little Blessing. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Every Little Blessing Preschool, about their mission, about the kids, about that early childhood education. And it's so cool to see so many good people doing cool things because that's really what makes
yes,
us.
I don't think so.
It sounds pretty important.
Right.
So
maybe radio station owner.
Yeah, that's that is the highest level of human achievement. Learn about just really great people doing great things in our community. Jessica, we're going to start off with you because I saw this quote that you have on your bio on your website. Quote that you have on your bio on your website. Play. We don't like.
No, but it's still fun
Right.
because we might be having fun, maybe at your expense, but play is
There's some
still
learning,
fun. Play is
there's some
still
learning
fun.
involved in the challenges or struggles or who learn differently or operate involved in the challenges or struggles or who learn differently or operate differently in the world. If you even think about somebody who's seeing impaired or hearing impaired, if you even think about somebody who's seeing impaired or hearing impaired, how they navigate the world is different than
Constantly wondering if you're doing the right thing in every little decision that you make from I think for women from the time that they find out they're pregnant, right?
Sure.
And for dads, maybe they find out they're pregnant, right?
Sure.
And for dads, maybe it comes
every way, right? And
maybe it comes
every way, right? And also having parents understand that this is where the most growth happens,
Right.
that they need to send their children to a place where they can receive that kind of
Some games to play with their kids.
Absolutely. And learning how to roll with the child.
Okay.
So as an observer,
Roll with the child.
roll with the child. What they want to do, let them be the leader and
Okay.
roll with what they're, but
Yeah.
there's so much
You're
exploration.
bringing back lots of sad memories.
But that's where it's at, is kind of letting the child be the leader and then you toy or what have you. So it's definitely teaching parents how to maybe slow down a little.
Yeah.
And then let the child be the leader.
Yeah, so we do a that when my kids were little, I was moving too fast, and it was Robert Hart with us. He's with Living Hope Counseling, and he said, "Well, how old were you when you had your kids?" And it's mid-20s with my grandson. I'm like, I think I'm slow enough now that I'll pay attention to what he's doing and slow down and become interested in what he's interested in, rather than thinking about.
There's a benefit to that, but as you're trying to get out the door in 2 minutes, you don't always have time to let them put their socks and shoes on. But when else are they going to do it? So just kind of being aware of maybe not for.
Very confused at what he's doing.
It's because he was rushed.
Yes. I'm glad we figured this out now, finally. Somehow it works. They don't. Children, seeing what they're interested in and encouraging them in that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's so cool. Mr. Michael, I know a big part of your job is, and since we have 40 minutes left in this program, we could maybe tackle that.
All right, I need 41 minutes.
Okay.
But we can condense it. But and sometimes they may seem small to someone else, but they're huge to a family. It could be first steps. It could be first words. It could be a child with a disability showing a typically developing child.
Right.
It's just as powerful for both of them to be in that setting.
Right, and so I didn't realize till you came in today that you have both children with special needs and those who are developing typically. I think maybe in my mind it's really obvious if I have a special needs child why I should look at Every Little Blessing Preschool. But if I have a typically developing child, why should I consider it?
I think our biggest benefit is our student to teacher ratio. And so you're going to be in a class of no more than 10 children with at least 2 adults. And that's not going to be present at a bunch of other facilities or even
Right.
public school when you get into preschool. And so that's a huge benefit. Your typically developing child is going to get that individualized attention, and they're going to grow at a much faster rate because of that attention and that small student to teacher ratio. And that's not happening everywhere else. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Jessica wants to expand on some of those other benefits.
Yeah, and I think also maybe something that people don't realize right away is that when typically developing children grow up learning how to interact with people who are different, they grow up to be adults who feel comfortable interacting with people who are different. They end up becoming business owners or managers who are in charge of hiring, and they might consider somebody who is a little bit different. And it can really impact our community as a whole if our children are learning how to normalize that and how to just interact in a safe way with each other. They're learning that from a very young age when they're with us, and so it's normal to them to go up to the kiddo at the cafeteria table that has nobody else sitting next to them. You know, we have parents that have graduated, their kids have graduated, and they come back to us and they tell us, you know, their teacher gives them the citizenship award because they're the one that'll go and, number one, see that somebody's by themselves, but then also make sure that they're included somehow and they can get their friends to also come over and eat lunch with, you know, this particular child.
Yeah.
So
Super cool.
I would like to share a story that one of our parents that is of typically developing a child's talked about is about communication. So they're a Spanish dominant family.
Okay.
The toddler class happens to be bilingual, so their child is learning English and Spanish, but also sign language. And in our school, we have some students who are nonverbal. So they use an iPad with a software on it that allows them to communicate in full
interesting.
sentences. And so to Jessica's point, our students are learning how to communicate in so many different ways, whether it's someone who needs to sign, someone who's speaking a different language, someone who has an iPad that they use to communicate. We've normalized that. And so when they become adults and teens or middle school, that is not seen as different or odd. It's just these are people, and this is how they communicate, and they honor that.
A lot of times when I talk to adults and I ask them, what interactions have you had with somebody with a disability? If they haven't, I ask them why. Why do you think that is? And usually it's just fear. Like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know how. I don't know what's the right thing to do. And so they don't do anything.
Right.
And so I think when you have the confidence and you know what to do, it makes you be more active in your community too.
Sure. Super cool. If you're just joining us, we're with Michael Phillips and Jessica Quinn of Every Little Blessing Preschool. Mr. Michael is the executive director, and Miss Jessica is the director of academics. The website is everylittleblessing.org. What part of town are you in?
West Side.
West Side. Oh, the cool part.
I don't know. If I can add, though, we are on the west side, but we service families in the entire community. We have families that come from Horizon to our school because they understand the benefit from Northeast.
Wow.
So, yes, we're located on the west side, but know that we do service our community, and people believe in it strong enough that they're going to drive 45 minutes each way to be a part of something special.
That's amazing. We do need to take a break. After the break, I'd like to talk about maybe what a normal day at Every Little Blessing Preschool looks like. A lot more for us to unpack, but again, we do need to take a break. This is your daily reminder that 915 Talk is listener supported and is a production of Desert Voice Media. You can listen to this or any previous 915 Talk conversation by going to our website. It's desertvoice.media, and just click on that 915 Talk link. It's been super fun to meet so many good folks from around our community, learning about what they're doing as at today, Every Little Blessing Preschool. We're on this journey, learning to love our city, learning to love our neighbors, and give God all the glory. We're going into a break. Do not touch that dial.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
915 Talk is listener supported and is a production of Desert Voice Media. That's right. It's people just like you who make this program possible. Together with Desert Voice, you can learn how to better serve our neighbors and pray for our community. To become a Desert Voice Media partner, you can visit desertvoice.media. That's right. That's the website, desertvoice.media. Take a look and join us today in reaching our borderland for Christ.
915.
Testify.
I just got out of federal prison. My addiction was cocaine and methamphetamines. I'm a recovering addict. I struggle with drug addiction all my life. I've been to prison 3 times, and it's like every time I got out and I used, I got out and I used. I mean, it's just a pattern, just a lifestyle. It was just more like that was my life. I mean, I got high and I ran the streets, and when God got a hold of me, I was lost until I had an encounter with God, and He turned my life around, and now I'm serving God, and then now that He can use me, and people go say, oh yeah, there must be a God. I thank God every day for my sobriety and my salvation. I got saved, and now there's nothing stopping me. And I give God all the honor and all the glory because I wouldn't be able to do it without Him. My name is Johnny. I'm from El Paso, Texas. If God can do this for me, He can do it for anyone.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb
And by the word of their testimony.
Desertvoice.media.
We're back. You're listening to 915 Talk.
We are back, and you are listening to 915 Talk. I'm your host, Andy Frecka. Today we are with Michael Phillips and Jessica Quinn. They're from Every Little Blessing Preschool. Before we went into the break, we were talking about how Every Little Blessing Preschool serves both those children with special needs and those who are developing typically. Super fun to hear about that dynamic. Miss Jessica, walk us through what a day at Every Little Blessing Preschool looks like.
Well, it all starts with smiles and hugs, first
Okay.
of all.
Just like here at KELP Radio.
Absolutely. Just how we were greeted when we came in.
Yeah.
Smiles and hugs.
That's right.
No, some people might think that if they're so little, what do you really do but play all day? And while it is revolving around play, we do have a schedule. We have 3 different classrooms, so we're working with 3 different age groups, and they all look a little bit different.
Okay.
But at drop-off, the children have a routine. They begin their routine. They're learning skills at a developmental level that's appropriate for them, with supports that they need as individual children, but a lot of music, a lot of language, because at this time, many of our kids are nonverbal, either because they're so little and they're just learning language,
Sure.
or they might be older but have Down syndrome or have autism and they're not yet speaking. But we're always putting words to what we see that they're doing, because that's how they develop their language too. So there's a lot of socialization that is interweaved in our day, a lot of academics, but it's all based in play.
Okay. And what time do you start in the morning? What time do you finish?
8 o'clock begins drop off, and by 3 o'clock they're picked up. We have some aftercare and some early drop-offers that we do service as well, but our school day is 8 to 3.
Okay, 8 to 3. Wow. And so, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a guy. I'm curious, what's the food situation?
Well, it's great. I'm glad you asked, as a matter of fact. Parents send their child a lunch every day, and so we know that they'll eat one thing during the day, and we provide them with a snack.
Okay.
We're trying to use independence and opportunities for them to use independence. So they are pouring their own water, even if they're 12 months. They're trying to pour their own water. We're having them drink out of an open cup, because that's a great skill for them to have. We're introducing them and sometimes their families to new foods.
Okay.
We learned early on that a lot of our kiddos were coming to school with a lot of processed foods, a lot of snacks that come in plastic and stuff like that. And we just decided this is one way that we can help parents with that. They need
Kenny on
something
the board
quick.
brings a lot of processed foods in, and also food in plastic. I tried to talk to him about it.
Well, he needs to come to ELB from 9:15 to 10 so we can feed him some good food.
No, so I love that you're using the mealtime also as a learning opportunity. Like you said, something very simple I wouldn't have thought of, just eating or drinking from an open cup rather than a sippy cup or a bottle or whatever the case would be.
Yeah, because sippy cups are easy for us as parents, but that doesn't mean that it's easy for the kid long term.
Right.
Right? Like you can't. I mean, I guess you could drink out of a sippy cup the rest of your life, but some people might.
Sippy cups
frown
are
upon
easy
that.
for parents if they give them to their kids. It'd be weird if the parents are still using sippy cups.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you, Kitty. Yeah. Right. But again, it's you're not choosing what's easy for yourself either.
Right.
Because I assume there's a lot of paper towels you go through.
Regular towels. We do a lot of laundry. Yeah.
Oh, regular towels. What do
Yeah,
you do?
we would need to start a grant cycle just for paper towels if we didn't have laundry instead.
Okay. All right. So classes are really small. You have 3-to-1 ratio is what I heard, right?
Correct.
A lot of playtime. You're intentional about having both a routine and also playtime and using anything throughout the day as a learning experience. 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. How do your teachers feel at the end of the day?
Tired, but they should, because they've been working with toddlers all day long.
Right.
You know, they've been on their feet. They're working. They're definitely keeping up with the toddlers. And I think that's another great thing about sending a child to a good early childhood center is, as a parent, you don't always have the time to run around with your toddler for that length of time. You know, you're trying to do laundry, you're trying to get dishes done, there's other things that you're doing, and they're at home with you, and there's absolutely benefit in that, but we're specifically designating our time to your child and designating our time to working with them and giving them opportunities to really learn and grow.
Right. So I find this language development part to be interesting, particularly for a 12-month-old. What are some, I don't know, what do I need to do to teach a 12-month-old how to talk?
Mostly talk. So everything that you see that they're doing, you're almost like a narrator of their life.
Okay.
Involve them. If you're sitting there making dinner, even if they're in a bouncer and they're on the table talking about what you're doing, their brain is developing as you're saying that language, and they're receptive, or what they hear, what they receive into the brain is developing much faster than they're expressive or what they're able to say out loud. And so even though they're not talking yet, they're soaking in everything that you're saying. And so the more vocabulary that you're using in your time with them, the more they're picking up.
Okay.
And if I can add, our teachers don't speak to our students in baby talk. They talk like they're speaking to other adults, and I think that's a huge difference in the development and the child's receptive language. So I think that's
so no baby talk.
No.
Okay.
It's cute every once in a while. You know, you can do it when you're tickling them or in the bath time, but your general talk should be normal, how you want them to talk when they do start talking. If you want them to talk like babies, then you talk to them like babies. That's what you're
Right.
going to get back too. So
Okay. All right. So I should just talk normally to a 12-month-old.
Absolutely.
Okay. That's it. And also what I'm hearing you say is also you're kind of a narrator of what's going on.
yes.
So, I'm making dinner, I'm chopping carrots. I don't know. What else would we talk about? I feel like I'd run out of things
Well,
to talk
just
about.
life in general. I mean, and you can ask them how they're feeling, and they may or may not be able to express it, but giving them the chance to think through and process what you've said and give them the wait time so that when they are ready to express it, they can give it back to you.
Well, and to piggyback off of that, your thought process, that inner voice that you have that's going, that you don't always say out loud, start
Right.
saying it out loud, because that's teaching thought process. That's
Right.
teaching thinking skills. And as you're deliberating, what should I cook first? Should I cook the noodles or should I cook the ground beef? I think I'm going to start the noodles so that it can be done at the same time that the ground beef and spaghetti.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like as you're making decisions and deciding on things, saying that out loud begins children's thought process.
Love it. If you're just joining us, we're with Jessica Quinn and Michael Phillips of Every Little Blessing Preschool. They're here in El Paso. They're on the west side, but they serve the whole community. The website is everylittlblessing.org. If someone is listening to this and they have a child or a grandchild they might be interested, I guess the first step is to reach out via the site.
Or call us, 915-875-0510. We'll like to schedule a tour and just show you in person.
All right, very cool. We're going to continue the conversation, but right now we have Charlie One on the phone. Charlie One, what are you seeing out on the roads this afternoon?
Well, this crash just happened in the UTEP area, Stanton and Hague. We have an injury crash. That just happened. PD going out there, fire department going out there, Stanton and Hague, so caution here. Also, let's jump also on the west side, North Desert and Helen of Troy. We have a crash. That one PD looking into was with injury, North Desert and Helen of Troy. While we're on the west side, it's still, even though they lifted the closure at I-10 East at Trade Center and Artcraft, all that area, but still there's cones set up and barrels and a lot of construction going on here at I-10 at Trade Center, Artcraft, so just caution in that area. Plus, in the valley, Americas and Carnes, we have a crash working. Spaghetti Bowl area, that's a typical story, typical slowing. I-10 East Spaghetti Bowl area, kind of tapping on the brakes once in a while. And Andy, back to you.
Charlie One, this afternoon we have Michael Phillips and Jessica Quinn. They're with Every Little Blessing Preschool here in El Paso. And I think about preschool teachers, all week from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're with these little ones just really sewing into their lives. And I imagine by Saturday morning they're really tired and they want to start off their weekend right with some rest and a bowl of the Breakfast of Champions, where would you recommend they find that bowl of menudo?
Well, tell you what, got two choices. Of course, they can go to Eastside Choice Meats and get that menudo any afternoon, and then heat it up on Saturday morning, Sunday morning. It's homemade menudo, freshly made here in El Paso, but they have it in containers and good to go. Now, another place that they can pick it up on the weekend, they have this Micabana Mexican restaurant, North Loop and Litrevino. They have menudo on weekends, so they can have it. They can, if they want to sit down and eat it there, that's fine in Micabana. And they'll really enjoy that. Of course, I got to give them a lot of credit. Take care of those little ones. My God.
Yes.
That's, well, I tell you what, that's I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Only a bowl of menudo will bring that restoration over the weekend that you need.
I think so. That would be a big help to them, Andy.
All right. Thank you, Charlie Wood. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
And we're back with Michael Phillips and Jessica Quinn of Every Little Blessing Preschool. Do you ever have menudo with the kids?
No, and I'm not a big menudo fan, but
okay.
That's okay.
That's hilarious. Yeah, so
we do have other interesting things during snack, but menudo hasn't been one of them.
I don't know how well the toddlers would enjoy the bowl of
I'm pretty sure they probably have access to that at home.
Right.
You know, that's probably something that they have been exposed to.
Right. Yeah, so Michael, when you look at Every Little Blessing Preschool, where would you like to see it 5 years from now?
Wow, we've just had a meeting about that today. And so part of it is just growing and expanding in awareness of the need and growing our community so that we can be in a place where we can serve more people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how would you quantify the need in El Paso?
Jessica, if you can remind me of the percentage of children that are born in El Paso with Down syndrome. I know, and before Jessica gets to that, there are so many early child care deserts in our city, where families don't have access to high quality early childhood education. And so we want to continue to fill that void. We have centers that close all the time for various reasons. Right. And so the need is high, but can you talk a little bit about those percentages of students born with Down syndrome in our city?
Absolutely. El Paso has one of the greatest live birth rates in all of Texas for our number of births. We have about 15 children born with Down syndrome every year. And that's out about 10,000 births that we have in a year in El Paso. Okay. And so 15 of those would be children with Down syndrome.
Okay. And tell me about the finances. Are you nonprofit?
We are a nonprofit.
Okay. I'm going to start off just with that. And then it's $600 a month?
That's our tuition, correct.
Okay. For tuition. And you have 3-to-1 ratio. So when I think about that, you're probably needing to raise money elsewhere.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Right? So how does that work?
In various ways. We try and diversify it, but we've calculated it takes about $19,000 to educate each child at our center. And so we come to the beginning of the year with a deficit, and we know that. Mm-hmm. And so, on April 25th, we have our annual big fundraiser called The Whole Hog, which is a backyard barbecue.
The Whole Hog.
The Whole Hog.
I feel like for the next 30 minutes, that's all we're going to talk about.
Let's do it.
Yes.
The Whole Hog.
The Whole Hog.
Have you considered the whole menudo?
I have not, but I think we can put that on the menu if there's enough demand for it.
All right, so tell me about the Whole Hog.
It's a backyard barbecue. It's held April 25th at Grace Gardens from 3 to 7, and it's all you can eat and all you can drink, adult beverages and water and
until we run out.
Until we run out. Thank you. And that money goes to benefit a scholarship fund for our
I don't
kiddos.
want anybody to come back and say, "Hey, you said all I could eat, and I'm still here, and I still want some." Until we run out.
Right. Oh, I thought you were talking about the adult beverages. You're also talking about the barbecue.
Both.
Oh,
Yeah.
Both. Okay.
Both.
All right.
Yeah.
Brisket, sausage,
baby back ribs, pulled pork sandwiches. We had some pork tortas last year. We do have turkey breast and chicken as well that we serve there. All the sides and some dessert.
Okay, April 25th at Grace Gardens. Like, is there like an entry fee, or how are we doing this?
We do sell sponsorships and tables, but an individual can come. It's $160.
Okay.
Live music throughout.
$160 a person, or for
A person.
table? A person.
A
Okay.
person.
Okay.
And realizing that this is an event to raise funds for scholarships for families that
right.
can't afford.
It's not like when you go to the buffet and you're trying to eat more than the $15 you paid for the entry fee.
Exactly.
$160 would be a lot of food. You're trying to help out Every Little Blessing Preschool. That's why you're there.
That's right.
And you get some good food.
Yes.
Yes. And great live entertainment and raffle prizes. And we have a cornhole tournament. And our cornhole tournament has
now you're killing me.
a special belt buckle that changes every year. It's custom made for our event. And so the prize for the cornhole, and it's serious. It's serious.
There's ringers that come in for this tournament, I've been
Yes.
told.
Yes.
This is going to be
Ringers?
my first
What's a
whole
ringer?
hog. Someone who's a professional, maybe?
Cornhole?
And they're going to take the tournament walking in the door. They know it for cornhole.
For that special belt buckle.
That. I feel like this is actually why we're having this conversation today. So there's a cornhole tournament at Grace Gardens as part of the fundraiser for Every Little Blessing Preschool. And there's some undercover professional cornhole participants who will come in incognito because they know that they're going to win a belt buckle.
Specially designed.
Custom made.
Yeah, because, like I hear this and I think how boring my life is, because there are people out there plotting right now to take over the Every Little Blessing Preschool cornhole tournament at the Whole Hog fundraiser at Grace Gardens on April 25th.
You got it.
All right. Okay. So
And we welcome them with open arms.
hugs and smiles.
Hugs and
you go.
smiles.
Right, okay.
That's right.
That's so
right.
great. How many people normally come for this?
Between 600 and 800.
Oh,
It's a huge event, and it's our annual anchor fundraiser where we really can serve our families and develop a scholarship fund and make sure that we're taking care of the operational needs, but more importantly, taking care of our students and our families.
okay. What's the entertainment going to be?
Wildflower is the band. If you've never checked them out before,
I have not.
amazing.
I work at a talk radio station. Tell me about Wildflower.
Well, Val Ortega is the lead singer, and she's actually a special education teacher in a local district. And so her heart is definitely into this event. And she can sing anything, and she can get the whole crowd up dancing. Amazing. Love the band. And they don't do a whole lot of shows anymore. And so if you want to check them out, that's the place to do it.
Wow. Okay.
And if you're, I'm sorry, Andy.
Yeah, please continue, Mr. Michael. It's been one nugget of information after another. Please tell me.
So you've given out our website a couple of times.
Yeah.
If people will scroll down to events, they can click on the Whole Hog link, and there's information and a QR code that they can purchase tickets, or they want to call the school about more information about a sponsorship, maybe buying a table, purchasing a table for their company. We are more than happy to help them out with that.
Okay, so everylittleblessing.org.
And if you're
you
more
you scroll down to the Whole Hog. I feel like it's sad that KELP Radio does not have something like the Whole Hog on their website. Because that's just really cool to have those words on your website, the Whole Hog. So everylittleblessing.org, go down to the Whole Hog and buy a table. Support Every Little Blessing Preschool. The owners of Grace Gardens are coming next month. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about Grace Gardens. But that's super cool. 600 or 800 people are showing up to support what you're doing, which is also super great. Okay. I don't know. The cornhole, wildflower, brisket. I don't know.
Does it get any better than that?
Yeah, I see no downside to any of this.
Wait, I know how it can get better.
How
It's
is that,
Rolling
Jessica?
Smoke barbecue. It's Desert Oak barbecue. It's Smokey's Pit barbecue. It's Hotel PDN, all coming together and donating their time
Okay.
to help us make your barbecue the best in El Paso.
Wow, that is genuinely super cool, and I do hope some of our listeners will make the effort right now to go to everylittlblessing.org, scroll down, find the whole hog, become a part of it. That's super cool. We do need to take a break. Before we go into the break, this is the part of the program where KELP Radio would like to thank our impact partners. These are local businesses, nonprofits, educational institutions that have joined us in our journey to serve our community through this radio ministry. The one I want to point out today is Rio Grande Auctions. I feel this is El Paso's best kept secret for good deals, good online deals. It is El Paso's only online auction. It's kind of a problem. It's kind of a problem at my house because my wife has found RioGrandeAuctions.com. But genuinely, I'm joking, of course, but they have great deals. It's where we do a lot of our birthday present shopping, Christmas present. It's a lot of returns. The box might be damaged, but the product itself is in great condition. The list of items they have is really mind-boggling. It's Legos, that's a big one. Tools, furniture. Kenny on the board, have you been to a furniture shop recently? Have you been to?
No.
No, it's better not to go. I think it's cheaper anymore to buy a car than it is to buy a couch. I'm not kidding you. It's insane.
Unless you go to the auction. I've toured the auction. My dad went and picked something up, and they let us walk around. They had a huge selection of furniture and other stuff.
Right. So I don't know if you and your dad were aware, but you can just tour by going to RioGrandeAuctions.com.
Well, he was picking something else. It's kind of hard to do that if you're watching online.
Yeah, but but they're great folks over there, and we're truly appreciative of them becoming impact partners. If you run a business, own a business here in El Paso, and you're interested in becoming an impact partner, reach out to us via our website, KELPradio.com. We're going to go into a break. Do not touch that dial.
We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
Greetings, KELP listeners. My name is Terry Gray, and I have the joy and privilege of serving as the pastor of Calvary Chapel Sun City, located on the west side of El Paso. I also have the joy of connecting with the radio audience in the borderland through the Summons broadcast heard each weekday at 5 p.m. right here on this station. On Summons, we study the Bible book by book, chapter by chapter, verse by verse, precept by precept. Please join us each weekday at 5 p.m. for Summons right here on KELP.
This is Pastor Steve Castrita. I'd like to extend the invitation for you to join us in service every Saturday at 5 p.m. at Redeeming Grace Church, El Paso. We are located at 2400 George Dieter inside Iglesia Philadelphia. We're a young church on the east side of El Paso with no smoke, no lasers, and no gimmicks, just the uncompromising Word of God and a call to win the 915 for Jesus Christ. We'd love to meet you and your family. God bless you, and thank you for listening to KELP.
Greetings, KELP listeners. This is Terry Gray, pastor of Calvary Chapel Sun City and speaker on the Summons broadcast heard each weekday at 5 p.m. right here on this station. Calvary Chapel Sun City is located at 960 West Borderland Road on the west side of El Paso. We hold services on Wednesday evenings at 7 and on Sunday mornings at 9 and 11. If you are without a church home, we would love to have you join us for worship and Bible study. You can find out more information about us on the web at www.ccsuncity.org.
We're back. You're listening to 915 Talk.
We are back, and you are listening to 915 Talk. Today we have with us Mr. Michael and Miss Jessica of Every Little Blessing Preschool. We've talked a little bit about the finances of running this kind of nonprofit. I'm sure it's not an easy road. What's easy for folks is to go to Grace Gardens on April 25th for the whole hog, and take advantage of that brisket. But let's talk about school vouchers. Are those going to help you out?
We hope so. We are an approved vendor for school vouchers, and we're looking forward to the opportunity. We've been to a couple of events that talked about vouchers, and so we think this can be a huge impact for our community, and we're looking forward to see how this plays out in our community.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, that's super cool because I would say, actually, I don't know how much preschool costs, but I would say what you're charging is very reasonable. However, it's not attainable for every family, and so the voucher program can help them out. And my understanding of the school voucher program is that the first tier, the first students that they're helping out are those with special needs. So that's fantastic. You're right in the I guess the bullseye for a lot of what that program's about. And I also know I'll say it so you don't have to. There's a lot of political sides to all this. People have their feelings on it, which everyone should have their feelings on everything. But they should also agree that the school voucher program is amazing. So we love it here at 915 Talk. and I believe that you're a great example of how that really is helping out people who would really need it in our community. So super cool that the school voucher program is there for you at Every Little Blessing. Miss Jessica, when you look at these kiddos and they turn 5, they graduate, how do you know that if you've been successful in educating them?
Sometimes you don't see it right away. Sometimes it's when the parents come back years later and they tell you how their child's doing and what an impact you were able to make in their life. We get to see the day-to-day, the little steps, but I think what you're talking about is more the big picture. Mm-hmm. And I think in any early childhood, often the work we do isn't seen until much, much later in life. And we're kind of okay with that in our profession. Mm-hmm. We realize that that's part of it, is we don't get to see the true impact that we have until years down the road. Right. But it's keeping the relationships with our families and meeting up with them at Down syndrome events or seeing them in the grocery stores and catching up with them. Or we're great on social media, and so we also have a lot of parents that keep up with us on social media. We like to share with our community so you can see in action on a regular basis what's going on there, and so we get to keep up with parents through social media too.
Right, and you've, I guess, used this phrase a few times during our conversation today of little successes every day. Could you give me a few examples of what that would look like?
We have a student right now that was not supposed to walk. She has cerebral palsy, and so she was not supposed to walk. Mm-hmm. As far as what the doctor said when she was born, right? But parents have been very committed to giving her supports and therapies and doing every little possible thing that they can to help her with walking, whatever that looks like for her, right? Sure. We've also accepted that she may need to walk with a walker, but she's still walking. And so we got to see her for the first time just a couple weeks ago, take her very first steps. Wow. Before she had come to us, parents were struggling to get a walker. And we knew if she has a walker, she could start doing it on her own and she wouldn't rely on us to help her and support her with holding hands, or she would have some more independence. And so one of our past families, I reached out to them and they donated a walker that their son had completely outgrown that they happened to still have. Mm-hmm. And they brought it and dropped it off at the school, and we were able to gift it to this family. And she's now been able to acquire her own, but it took us giving that walker to the family for the other therapists that had been working with her to see, okay, we got to get on top of this. We got to get one that's designed for her. Right. And so we were able to not only see her take her first steps with her walker, but also we have a video on our Facebook page. You can check her out. Mm-hmm. She's walking with kind of like a gait belt, and she's taking steps in the gym. And you can hear in the background all of her friends and her teachers cheering for her. And so it was really a school-wide success because all the classes happened to be in the gym at the same time. And so you can hear us in the background. Go Go, girl, go.
No, that's super cool. And what I'm hearing you say is you were carefully observing her because you're there with her every day, and you notice some things that maybe the therapists who are working with her, great people, but they might see her once a week, once a month, and so they don't see some of they can't make the same observations.
Or maybe just also, I think a lot of times we help give parents the confidence to advocate or maybe push a little harder. And so I think in this case, it might have been a little bit more of that, just helping to advocate that, no, this needs to happen sooner rather than later. How can we make this happen now? What can we do now? Her grandfather even made a stander out of some wood that he had in his garage, and we looked it up because the equipment for these kiddos is extremely expensive, and going through insurance can be a very timely process. And so anything that we can do to help parents through that, we're happy to do. And I think in us getting the equipment, it helped the therapists see, okay, I need to just sit down and do this and get this going.
And it's, I guess you kind of just casually mentioned this, but you knew of another family that had a walker. You made that effort because you're like, we think this can happen. You organize those things. Super cool. Mr.
And
Michael?
I think that's the power of our community, right? And Jessica talked about keeping in contact with them. They gave it willingly. And there wasn't even a question. And so they know the benefit it had for their child, and they wanted to make sure they were able to provide that same success for another child.
Right. Super cool. Stephanie Otero is watching via Facebook. She says super and awesome.
Hi, Steph.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Any other success stories? That's a big one. What would a little one look like?
A little one would be, all of them I think are big.
They're huge.
All of them are big.
If I can share just two different things. One is a parent told us his son was reaching for the pitcher at home on the table. And they're like, no, what are you doing? And the student's nonverbal, but then they realized that this is something he does at school and pours his own water.
Right.
And so he makes messes, and that's okay, and he cleans it up. But how else is he going to learn, right? And so that's a skill.
That's
and I think
super cool.
The other thing is normalizing some behaviors. The student that Jessica was talking about with the walker, some of her friends would grab the walker and walk with it. But it's normalizing that this is a tool and it's not weird, for lack of a better word. This is what she uses to walk. Let me experience it. And so when they see other children out there in the community, I think it's part of their normal behavior, and it's normalized, and they can relate to it, and it's not seen as different.
Right. No, that's great. And again, what I'm hearing you say is you're pushing these kiddos in a positive way. And I know as a parent of toddlers, I was a parent of toddlers once. It can be exhausting, and like we talked at the beginning of the program, at the end of the day, it's easier to pour the water yourself.
It is.
But you were pushing this student, and he came home and he started doing it himself, and pushing him in a way that maybe he wouldn't have had otherwise. So cool.
And sometimes it's expectation, right? Like where we set the expectation, where we hold the bar for our kids, that's what they're willing to work towards. And so sometimes it's also helping parents to see that, if you have high expectations for your kids, they'll be more willing to work up to that, even if they can't do it first time right away, or, they know that you believe in them. And so they're going to try a little bit harder. They're going to have the confidence to do it because since you believe in them, they believe in themselves.
We set those conditions for success, right? And the expectations.
Right. Yeah, that's so great. So many parts to this. I want to hear a little bit more where you're going to be 5 years from now, other than just bigger.
We're going to Bigger, better, more hugs, more smiles. We hope to expand and become more centrally located so that we're accessible to families from all over our community. We do have families from all over right now.
Yeah.
But if we're in a facility that's a little bit more centrally located and is able to house more staff and more children, I think that would be the best case scenario.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's huge. As you said, right now you have folks coming to the west side of El Paso from Horizon City. So if anyone's looking to donate some space, Every Little Blessing Preschool, if you have a spot in Central El Paso, you're open to donations of buildings?
We're open to donations of everything. Time, talent, and treasure. We'll take it all.
Right. Love it. Again, we've been today with Mr. Michael and Miss Jessica of Every Little Blessing Preschool. The website is everylittleblessing.org. If you go there, you can scroll down. First of all, anyone can do this. They can go to the website. They can scroll down. They can sign up for the whole hog. We learned. I think we spent half the program talking about that, but it was definitely worth it. Go out, just find out how good you actually are at cornhole at the whole hog, and support a great cause. Also, if you have a little one, you're accepting both those who have special needs and those who are developing typically. So if you're interested in getting a tour, learning more, also everylittleblessing.org, and just set up a tour, right, Miss Jessica?
That's right.
All right. So thank you so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having us. This has been a great.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. As we always say, let's learn to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory. This has been 915 Talk. You have been listening to 915 Talk, a production of Desert Voice Media. To listen to this or any previous edition of 915 Talk, just visit desertvoice.media and click on the 915 Talk link. Let's continue to learn to love our city, love our neighbors, and give God all the glory.
Hi, I'm Johnny Erickson Todd, and recently in Romania, our Wheels for the World team met 9-year